Okie dokie, it says that we're live, and as you can see, I have a special guest with me. This is Shay. Say hi, Shay, to the crowd watching.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me, Jake.
Absolutely. So, basically, you guys, we have a lot of awesome stuff for you today. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well. We're using some new streaming software so that I can have guests, I can show videos, and all that fun stuff. So, I will actually have what looks like a more professional stream instead of a dude just sitting in the office by myself. I'm sure people were getting tired of hearing me just talk without any visual aid. So today we have Shay with us. It's spelled Chi, but it's pronounced Shay.
C-H-E.
So no, her name is not Chi. Her name is Shay. And before anyone asks, no, she is not my new girlfriend. And no, she's not a man. So before anyone asks, she is married and does have children and all that stuff. Yeah. So those two questions answered right out of the gate, because I'm sure that would come up. So how are we looking out there? Can you guys hear us both? Let me turn down this.
How's our volume?
Yes. Can you hear both of us? Check, check, check.
I'm glad you can tell I'm not a man.
John Jeff says, I can tell by your eyes she's not a man. There you go. That's a smart guy right there. He knows this by looking at the eyes. All right. So let me go ahead and set up this screen and pull up this ISS footage. What we're going to be doing today is showing the most recent ISS footage. The old crew of the ISS left, and now there's a new crew. And they are definitely some space goobers. You guys are going to like this new crew. All right. The new crew is very diverse. We'll just say that. It's all about diversity with the new crew. So let me go ahead.
They may or may not be women.
Let me go ahead and share this screen. It might not even be real people.
Yeah, right. They might not be real.
Let's see. NASA's. There it is. We're going to share this. And then make this a full screen. And here's something that I can't wait to do. I've been wanting to do this. There we go. We actually have us on the screen being able to share something. All right. I'm so happy, you guys. Like, I was afraid that I was going to have to learn a bunch of complicated software, and I was going to have all this equipment, and I was going to screw something up. But this StreamYard thing is so far really easy to use. And looking good so far. I'm actually excited for this stream. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to watch this International Space Station footage. And again, this is the most up-to-date footage that we're going to find. In fact, they even released a new video today. We can even break that one down maybe next time. But this is basically the most up-to-date space station footage from 2022, the brand new crew. So we're going to see the old crew leave, the new crew show up. And as a special treat, if you guys in the chat see any anomalies, spot any errors, and you want to debunk the ISS, go ahead and leave your comments, and I will stop the stream periodically and read your guys' comments so you guys can get in on the debunking action as well. All right, who's ready to get started? Are you ready, Shay?
I'm ready. Let's watch this.
All right, let's do it. I'm gonna bring it up full screen. There we go.
So legit.
And away we go. Oh, I have to go to the page and hit play. That'll help.
Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
We are ready for the event.
So good afternoon on the International Space Station. It's been an interesting day for us. We've been flying around the station, collecting our last minute photos, our last minute items.
All right, y'all, right out of the gate. Look at Homeboy in the turquoise sweatshirt. Look at the way he's holding his sweatshirt and holding his wrist. Is that something that you think you would ever do? Is that any sort of natural body language right there?
Oh.
So, for instance, he's holding his shirt like this. He's holding his wrists like this. So he's holding his wrist and then holding his shirt like that. Is the most ridiculous looking body language. That doesn't look natural. There's no reason that you would do that. And do
the
you
guy
know,
right behind him is doing the same thing.
yeah, throughout this video, you're going to see this, right? They do this a lot. And
Wait,
nobody's standing. Hold on, let me switch to my
can
cell
we
phone.
address that there's some people that are upside down?
Hold on. So first things first, no one stands like this. People do this, right? People twiddle their thumbs, da-da-da. But naturally, you don't ever just stand like this, do you? Have you ever just naturally just standing around stood like that, like holding your wrist like this? If anything, your hands would be down more at your sides, right? Or if you were going to do this, you'd maybe interlace them or something. So right out of the gate, I always point out that this is some unnatural shit that they do that nobody would ever do. All right, so let me go back to the screen. So we're going to go ahead and hit play again. But right out of the gate, oh, you know what the globe cuck explanation for this is? The globe cuck explanation for why they do this? Well, you know, they're in free fall, and because of there's no gravity, it'll cause their arm to start floating away. So he's holding his arm down from floating away. That's what they say. He doesn't want his arm to go floating away, so he's got to hold it. Got to hold your arm from floating away. What's to keep the other one from floating away? So anyway, I'm sure some globe cuck like Simon Dan or somebody would be like, personal incredulity. Everyone in outer space holds their wrist to keep their arm from floating away. All right, here we go.
And getting ready to come home. So a bit of a bittersweet moment, I think, for a day for all of us. So just wanted to say, we all like to say a couple of words, but of course, none of this would happen if it weren't for the incredible professionals and human beings around the world that have made this space station possible, not only in the audacity of even thinking that this could happen, but in pulling it off. And then every day we interact with individuals around the world that not only keep us safe, not only keep this space station running in orbit, but also allow us to help them the dreams of scientists around the world producing scientific data that will improve human lives for the better. And so we just like to say a few words here as we're hopefully going to be departing the space station here in just a few hours.
Okay, so we got new people showing up asking who's the babe. Again, we have a special guest today. She's actually the one who gave me the idea to use this streaming software, which is super easy to use. I figured it out in one day, and I don't even have to have headphones or a special microphone. And then any guests that I want to have on, I just send them an invite, and then they can quickly show up, and they don't have to have any special equipment. I don't have to have any mixing board. So basically all the issues that I was worried about, this streaming software seems to have helped quite a bit. So this is Shay. We'll introduce her again one more time. Say hi to anyone who's just showing up, Shay.
Hi.
And again, she's somebody who I started talking to recently. She knows a lot about different subjects that I know about, including flat Earth. She's got some awesome information, and she doesn't go with the AE map, and she's not down with the shills. So we'll get into some flat Earth stuff in the future. But right now, let's get back to this space station video real quick, and away we go.
Just wanted to say what an honor and a privilege it's been to live and work aboard the International Space Station with this space, and also our crewmates who we served with on Expedition 66, who departed about a month ago. It's been a spectacular experience. I think really challenging, really developmental, but most of all, really beautiful to form these amazing relationships, and also not just with our crew up here, but like Tom said, with our crews all around the world in the flight control rooms who are there 24/7,
Oh, I see.
making what we do up here possible.
I got to mute it on my end
It's just
to avoid
an
an
honor of a
echo.
lifetime to contribute to the legacy of this incredible vessel that's been up here for more than 20 years. And I think for all of us, it's really hard to leave. We're really looking forward to getting back to our families and our amazing support network on the ground. But I'm just so excited for you guys to have a similar experience. We've been really lucky to see the full range of operational and scientific operations up here. And I can't wait to contribute going forward and all the amazing things NASA is doing alongside our international partners with the return to the moon as part of Artemis. So thank you so much to the amazing team around the world for making this a possibility, and to our leadership for entrusting us as caretakers of this incredible station.
And I'll just echo the thanks. Almost 6 months ago, we came up here on Endurance, the maiden voyage of SpaceX.
Okay, so basically up top you have the new crew, and then down low you have the old crew. And so the old crew is along the bottom there, and they're the ones who are going to be leaving at the end of this video. And then the new crew is up top. They're the ones who are going to take over. Now, I've pointed out before that I don't think that they actually have all these people in the same studio or the same room together. So I think when they do this, what they do is they actually shoot some of these scenes with maybe only a few of the astronauts together, and then they stick them all together on the same screen afterwards in post-production. Like, you see the dude in the blue in the back? Like, that guy never says anything. He literally just stares into the screen the entire time, and he does that in the last few videos that I've seen. So the on-running joke, you see the guy in the light, like in the blue in the back, the regular blue. Oh, I have you muted. Shit, I'm sorry.
Okay, can you hear me now? He looks just pushed in there, like out of place.
So check it out. On the last few videos that I watched of the crew, he literally just stands there with his arms folded, and he's in the back, and he never does or says anything. He literally just stares like that. So I feel like it's this ongoing joke where they just insert that dude in the back. Like, dude, you're on the space station, even though you don't do anything. It's like, oh, he's shy. He's the one guy that doesn't say anything. So, yeah, I think it's funny that
these people that are upside down, it seems like their faces would be red.
Yeah, I don't think that they're actually upside down. That's what everyone says, is that you'll get uncomfortable and your face will turn beet red. So I'm not sure they're actually upside down. You know what I mean? In some of these shots. So
the whole thing is just so awkward looking.
Oh, it is. That's what I mean. To me, it comes down to this, is like, it should look seamlessly real. Like,
yeah,
it shouldn't look so childlike. When I see this presentation, it's like, I feel like they're like, how can we convince a child that this is real? You know what I mean? It's like, as long as a child believes it, then it's good enough.
Well, you would think with NASA's budget, they could do a better job than this. I can't even believe this is the latest and greatest footage.
And so here's my thing with ISS footage. Globers will refute anything that looks terrible by saying, well, I can see it in a telescope, so it has to be real. I don't care if you say you can see it in a telescope, and I'm sure you've heard that excuse. Well, I can see it in a telescope. Are you telling me that my eyes aren't real? They'll say some retarded shit like that. It's like, look, I don't care what you think you can see in a telescope. That doesn't make what we're seeing on this screen right now real. If it was real, everything should be seamlessly, flawlessly real. Furthermore, how come everyone can stay in place so damn well? How come none of these people have having no trouble staying perfectly still? So they crop them all in like that. You got people upside down and people right side up. And of course, they say in space there is no upside down or right side up. But you should always be fighting from going, whoa, right? Ah! You should always be fighting like any sort of tiny momentum that your body has. Like even if you just took your tippy toe and touched the ground, you should start flying towards the ceiling. So any sort of movement that you make, you're going to start heading that direction. And so I find it convenient, we'll say, that these guys get to stay perfectly still as if they were just standing on Earth. We got a
Someone
donation.
pointed out, Bob pointed out that the guy on the left is showing the Masonic hidden hand.
Okay. Yeah, there could be a lot of symbolism as far as that goes, because we all know that that these guys are in on the deception. They know that they're deceiving people, and that is if these are even real people. Some of these people might not even be real people, which sounds crazy.
I agree.
But imagine like Mr. Potato Head, you take a pair of eyes from one person, a nose from another person, a mouth from another person, you collage them together on a body, and then you overlay that on a different person's body. Suddenly you have a person that doesn't even exist that looks like a real person. So I've heard that now on the news, they can do that. They can make a still shot of a fake person and say that that person died. And we had before I forget, we had a super chat come in from one of my favorite subs here, Sel Rosenberg, says, dude in the back is like a Star Trek ensign with no name you've never seen before and dies first. Yeah, see, he's like this. I swear they did this on purpose as a joke. They stuck the dude in the blue, the regular blue shirt back there. They stick him in as a joke because he never actually says anything. And so I think like the last 3 videos I've seen him in, I haven't watched every one, but like the last 3 that I watched of this crew, he's always in the back and always doing nothing. So I'm pretty sure he's like a big joke played on us. Thank you, Sal, for the donation. I appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and jump back into this footage. We're only 3 minutes in.
Absolutely. Looking forward to writing that back to.
Oh, I think I muted it on the wrong end. One sec.
Oh, I gotta mute my mic. Hold on.
Yeah, I muted it on the wrong end.
To pass the torch and head back to Earth. But like Kayla and Tom said, thanks to just everyone. Thanks, starting with our families and our friends and our families who not only dealt with this 6 months while we're up here, but have dealt with the training and all the time to get to this phase. And then the control centers, literally thousands of people around the world that on a daily basis support what we do and make what we do even possible. The trainers that got us here to begin with and taught us, even though we continue to make mistakes on a daily basis, but hopefully not critical mistakes. But the trainers that got us here that made this all possible, and to the science teams, ultimately that's the reason we're here, is to do science. And so I think that's
who's taking flash photography?
About being a part of such amazing achievements. And we look forward to seeing the papers that are published, to the research that leads to new technologies and saves lives, and that's the really exciting thing. And just honored and humbled to have been a part of that for the last 6 months.
So I also can only echo what my dear crewmates have said. It's been like 6 outstanding months up here in the space station. Thanks to my crewmates, it's been so beautiful. Thanks to all the people on the ground that supported us, the international partners, all the mission control centers around the globe, but also like in Europe, the European Space Agency, the German Space Agency, who prepared.
Okay. You noticing the flash bulbs going off? Like
yeah, what is that?
Is that the paparazzi?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It's like they have the paparazzi in the background with like old school flash bulbs like going off, right? Like, so who's taking that? Like, what the hell's going on there?
Yeah.
And also we got, if you look, we have the wrist hold going on with 2 guys now. So now the guy in green is now holding his wrist as well. See? So basically, like I said, that's something that nobody stands like that. Interlacing is natural, but not holding your wrist like that. And just because you're in outer space doesn't make that suddenly become a natural stance. And so now you have both guys holding their wrist like that. And me and Shay were talking beforehand that it sometimes looks like they have like overlays, maybe like CGI overlays placed over the top of their hands even. And in the next video we show you with the new crew, it looks even more like they have these fake hands. Sometimes they'll even hold the microphone like it looks like a fake hand. So in the next video we show you, sometimes they'll hold the microphone like this. They'll be like, hi, I'm going to talk into this microphone like this. Yeah, that's how people hold a microphone. All right, let's go to the chat for a minute. Let's see. It says, Going Crazy says, greatest show on earth. Scott Goriup says you would need to wear a belt in space, otherwise your pants would fall down. Well, we know the one guy's got a belt there, but yeah, good point. Of course, gravity always pulls your pants down in space, so you definitely have to have your belt on tight. You know what I like about space that no one ever points out? Everyone's always super clean, extra well groomed and taken care of. And so it's like everyone's face is always typically perfectly shaven. Like the guys would have to literally shave like every 12 hours to look that baby smooth every day. And then everyone's always super clean, so there's no smudges or stains on their shirt or nothing. Like you don't accidentally like have any food go flying and leave stains on your shirt. So everyone's always super extra crispy clean. And you know what they say that they do is that they take sponge baths and that they have a shaver with a vacuum on it. So they use a vacuum shaver. Did you know that that's what that's their actual answers?
I wondered. I have no idea. I watched them do the fake teeth brushing thing, and I've seen the bathroom.
The bathroom's like a porta potty vacuum.
Have you seen where they sleep?
Yes, they
go into like these chambers.
They sleep in a padded crib. I'll have to show that once we finish this. They sleep in a padded crib. So before anyone asks, if you Google where do astronauts sleep in the ISS, you'll see the most ridiculous picture you've ever seen. I can even share it here in a minute, where the astronauts are in a padded crib. Like you don't want to bang your head on the metal like while you're sleeping. So they have a padded helmet and they're in a padded crib so that baby can sleep without banging his head.
Food in bags that they add water to. The food looks disgusting too. And they try to tell you to swallow your toothpaste. That's poisonous. You're not supposed to swallow your toothpaste.
And at the same time, they screw around and throw little bubbles of water. Right? They'll be like, look, the water makes a sphere. It's like you're playing with water inside of a space station.
Gulp.
With all those dangling and hanging wires everywhere.
You're going to electrocute yourself.
Also, everyone, so happy! Yeah! And they're always like, let's hug! So happy! I love you! It's like there's nobody on the space station who you don't like or get tired of. Everyone's like bestest pals. Like you'll see it at the end of this footage, they all hug each other. And so anytime new space astronauts show up to this thing, they all have to be like, hug, I love you, best friend, we're in space, I love you. And it's like,
they wouldn't all get along like that.
Well, my thing is, no one has a bad day in space. Everyone's always having the most wonderful day. And then also, like, no one's thinking in the back of their head that you could die at any moment. Like if the oxygen tank system failed, then you all literally die. Like any little tiny thing goes wrong, you die. And then you can't go out and just take a walk and get some fresh air.
Yeah, they're
like, to me, that would
sardines.
That would drive me crazy.
Yeah, like I can hardly stand a 4-hour plane ride.
I have to get out of this office every few hours. Like I'll be streaming for a couple hours and I'll be like, all right, guys, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm going to take my dog out for a walk. And then I can go out for a walk and then, forget the world, leave my phone behind, even be away from the computer screens. Imagine being stuck inside of a prison where you could die at any moment and there's other people there all the time. And you're in this like foreign environment that I swear you can't get used to. Even if you're there for 2 weeks, there's no way you would be like, oh yeah, this is how it normally is. And so they always are putting on this front like, whoa, I'm twirling this.
I just don't understand what kind of person it takes to pull off such an elaborate lie. Like, look at their faces, you know, they're lying to all of us and they feel good about it.
That's why a part of me thinks that these aren't completely real people, that these might be like fake people in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe not all of them, but some of these people, if you go watch this original footage, and I'll even have to post the link to this footage for anyone, but it's over on the channel called NASA Video. So it's not called NASA, it's just NASA Video, and it is part of the government's slew of channels. So it definitely it's tied back to NASA's website. So the channel is called NASA Video, and this is where they show these new clips of the ISS footage. And I've been telling people that I watch more ISS footage than people who believe in it. So I don't believe in this shit, but nobody I know that believes in it watches it. They don't actually like look up new footage and watch it. So when I tell people about it, they look at me like I'm crazy, and it's like, God, it's like, damn it, you didn't even watch it. I watch more footage than the people who believe in it. Like, I'm more of an expert on shit that I don't believe in than people who believe in it. It's weird to be an expert in a field that you know doesn't exist. Meanwhile, people who believe it exists just think that whatever I have to say about it's completely stupid, but they don't take the time to critically sit here and analyze it like we are now. That's what really bothers me.
Well, imagine being a space fan. Imagine thinking this was real. Imagine thinking that those people are really upside down and believing all this. You have to be so gullible.
Yeah, exactly. They don't take the time to even think of something like as simple as this. Like, okay, look at this guy on the left holding his elbow. You can see the shadow behind him on the guy's white pants, right? So the guy on the lower far left, you can see the shadow of him on the guy's white pants. Well, what about that guy behind him? How come his shadow isn't on the wall? So something as simple as shadows. So you see the gay looking, flamer looking dude with his arm up on the thing, right? He's got his arm up on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a shadow that he's casting on that wall behind him.
Mm-mm.
Yet the dude out in front of him is casting this like totally dark shadow onto that guy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's not very good CGI.
So like even like the shadows, they just aren't getting correct. And if you guys were watch the video in the best quality, we're not going to get the best quality because we're live streaming right now. But if you watch the video on your own, there's a lot of CGI action happening on their face. Like their faces seem to like glitch and move. And so even if you watch it at the best quality that they offer, it's still glitchy. It's like they won't allow you to focus on these people's faces. The top crew especially. I sat and watched the footage in slow-mo, and it's like their faces glitch, like almost like they purposely don't want you to focus on their face, if that makes sense. All right, let's continue.
A large part of the science complement that I was able to execute up here, and also who trained me and made it possible that I'm here today. It's the end of a 6-month mission, but I think the space dream lives on.
the guy in the blue shirt.
Hand over command of the space station, and just a couple of words about what is meant to us some more words what is meant to us to be here. 100 years from now, we'll be looking back on the space station, the International Space Station, as certainly an incredible engineering accomplishment, certainly as a way that countries all around the world have been able to raise their technological base and have been able to produce scientific results, as we've said, to save lives and to improve human life. And being here and part of it, another point in our being a part of history here has been the arrival of the first private astronaut mission, so that space will become open, and is beginning to be open for everyone. So the commercial crew program has been very much a part of our lives here as well. But I think the lasting legacy of the space station is very likely to be international cooperation and a place of peace. So, Oleg, you're a very strong and experienced cosmonaut, astronaut. I know we'll be leaving the space station in good hands with you. And Equipage 3, желаю вам безопасной, успехов и радости в работе и счастливо оставаться. And I relinquish control of the command of the space station to you. I accept command. I accept command.
Yay! So, as you can see, he has accepted the key to the space station. Apparently, there is an ignition key to the space station, and I like how this I guess he's Russian. He's like this foreigner version of Scott Kelly. So if you remember Scott Kelly, he looked almost exactly like this dude. It's like they went out of their way to find a foreigner dude who looks exactly like Scott Kelly. To keep the continuity of the bald, hardly any detail to his face or body. It's like they wanted to find this like white, bald, fat face that looked exactly like Scott Kelly as it's like a perfect potato head style face. they let's find another Scott Kelly. People remember Scott Kelly, so they'll be stupid enough to maybe even think it's the same dude. You know what I mean? Like, what are the odds that, there's a guy who looks exactly like Scott Kelly who also qualifies to be on the space station. And then I think it's funny, this new diverse crew, which you see on the top, it's like, that's them. That's the best.
They're all wearing the same shirt. They're all wearing black, but the people on the bottom are wearing different clothes.
And when you look at this crew, they look like a bunch of goobers. So to me, it's like, this is it. This is the best of the best. Like, out of all the people who try out to be astronauts, this crew of goobers is the best. You know what I mean? Like, to me, they look like, I don't know, like some crew that would work in like some office together or something. You know what I mean? Some advertising company or whatever. There's just something about them that just doesn't scream astronaut to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't look any different than us. They don't look like they're super fit, or like the one girl claims that she was a fighter plane pilot in the next clip that we're about to watch.
So in the next clip we're going to show you, we got these two astronauts here, these two women, women upside down.
We don't know for sure.
We don't know if they're even women for sure. But these two hanging upside down, we actually have a clip that we're going to show you next, where it focuses in on them, and it'll open up a whole new set of anomalies to debunk.
Yeah.
All right.
It was in the medieval time together. Tom, Kevin, Raja, and Matthias, short period, very short, 45 minutes, 47 days, maybe no now. Brothers, sister, you know, I think you know what more important things for us, for me, for Denise, for family, our children, peace between our countries, our friendship. Thank you for friendship.
I like this because then they all start to do this thing where they all start hugging. And it's like everyone has to do every combination of every hug. And then those guys come down, they switch away. See? Oh my God, that's funny. So I find it hilarious. They always have to do this huggy thing. Like everyone hugs. And so it's like, oh, Look at every single combination of every different person. Like how many hugs, mathematically, how many hugs is that? Every single person has to do, you can't just like hug two or three and then look at the other one and be like, hey, you up there, I don't need to hug you. You know what I mean? You got to be like, all right, you 1, you 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I miss anyone? So like every combination of hug has to go down. So I like how instead of them having to show us that they literally hugged every combination, they went ahead and cut out on the hugging. Watch.
Yeah, now they're coming down.
And then they switch over to this. See, now they have to wear these they have to wear these space astronaut uniforms when they leave. So they're getting ready to leave.
Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer, alongside on his left, European Space Agency astronaut Samantha Crisafretti as well.
See, and then they get in here, and then they come back down to Earth. They go bye-bye.
Closure now in work.
I want to know how old the girl is that's commentating right now. Sounds so young. And now they're closing the door.
That right there was the first video that I wanted to show you guys. All right. So what do you guys in the chat think of the first video that we showed? We got 200 people watching. Hey, you guys, do us a quick favor. Hit the thumbs up button if you guys are enjoying this stream so far. We got another ISS video to show you. This next one focuses in on the 2 female crew members, and so we're going to watch that next. And it's in a different section of the space station, and it'll open up this whole new set of anomalies and screw ups that we can watch. And there's one big screw up at the end when they both start doing their flips and somersaults. It pretty much gives away the harness. It's like one of the most dead harness giveaway screw ups that I've ever seen. But of course, if you're a globe cuck, you're gonna say personal incredulity. It was a pocket of gravity that caused them to look like they were on a harness.
Oh no, let's interview Shay for a minute.
Okay, we can talk to Shay for a minute.
What do you want to know?
So, how long have when did you discover my channel? Because we've only been talking for like a week.
I was trying to look that information up. A couple of years ago, maybe, whenever you were over talking about flat Earth. Okay, so I started my channel in 2016. So you've known about my channel then for a few years then. Yeah, I would say ever since I started debunking the map, and then everybody accused me of listening and following you, and then I found you, and I'm like, yeah, I can see why they're saying that, because he is like me, like the male version of me. We sound so much alike. We both did Dave Chappelle videos, so yeah, I love your channel. So Shay was telling me that she doesn't she's not down with the AE map, and She's got her own debunks for it. And so I was surprised to talk to somebody that knew about the subject and was totally not down with any of the shill shit. She was calling out these different shills, and I'm like, yep, that's correct. Okay. And so what we're thinking is the next time we stream, doing a full-on flat Earth stream. You know, I'm sure you guys have been wanting me to talk about it, and this has reinvigorated my let's say love for streaming. Now that we have this awesome software that I can use easily without screwing things up, and we can show videos and diagrams, and there's somebody else who knows about this who I can have on as a guest, and we can also bring on other people that want to talk about their maps and their models. So it's looking exciting in the future for my streaming. And I will admit that my streams haven't been super exciting lately. So I'm glad that we've
fix those issues. So we're going to be most likely talking about flat Earth on the next stream that we do. We might even do like a full-on AE map debunk special. I know Shay wants to do that. So it'll probably take us a week to get all our materials together and then practice it and then have it all ready to go so that we aren't stumbling through any material or whatever. So by next week, we should be able to do a full-blown flat Earth stream like the old days. So how does that sound, chat? You guys want to look into some possible flat Earth maps that might work better than the one we're given? Now, she doesn't have a perfect working map or model. Nobody that I know has a perfect working map or model, but she has been trying to fix some of the issues that the circle map has. And she's had some of the same problems that I have trying to figure out how the hell does a sun rise and set on a flat Earth? How the hell can you have a rectangle or a square map or a different shaped map and have the sun rise and set and the Earth still be flat without it being some sort of computer simulation or something like that? So we both had the same exact issues that we've ran into with the map. And so I'm thinking next week we can discuss that, and that'll be awesome.
Yes, I'm excited to talk about the map. I'm very passionate about the flat Earth map. So when I became a truther, I did not become a truther to be lied to or to repeat lies. And I figured out pretty quick that's what I was doing. And yeah, that flat Earth map is wrong. And anybody that pushes it and they won't look into other things, they're pretty much a shill or a gatekeeper.
Or a useful idiot.
Or a useful idiot. Or you've been indoctrinated to believe a lie.
Not everyone who believes not everyone who believes it's a shill. There are some people who are like just so dead set in their ways, they don't want to admit that they got duped again. They don't want to admit that these shills, they might have went to the conference. They might be friends on Facebook with Jaron or David Weiss or Mark Sargent or whoever. Yeah. And so when you tell them you got duped, you're a useful idiot. They're like, no, my Bible says it's round, so it's a circle. My Bible says so, and you're a shill. You know what I mean? So we both know what it's like to have videos made about us. Shay actually has her own YouTube channel. And so I can actually give you a plug real quick. She's actually like over 800 subscribers, so she's getting near 1,000 subs. So I'm sure if we did a few streams together, you'll be over 1,000 soon, and then you can start running streams over there with this software. But all right, here's a link to Shay's channel in the chat.
How could you possibly make a map? Thank you for sharing a link.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be able to navigate. It's got to align with a compass. There's navigation software, so a map exists. And it's not the circle map.
What I don't like about the circle map is that they say like east and west are circles, no matter how big or how small.
Yeah, you can't go east to get to the west, and you can't go west to get to the east. The earth has ends. And if you're biblical, then you should know that the earth has ends. That's all throughout the Bible.
So we are both in agreement that the map is wrong. And so I look forward to doing a full-on flat earth special with somebody who knows their stuff. And it's going to cause shock waves. Whenever I start talking about the flat earth and maps, shills start coming out of the woodwork. So I look forward to seeing what sort of shock waves we can send out there. And also bringing on some people who want to present their maps. There are people who tell me that flat earth is a psyop and that the concave is the real earth. And that the concave model, it's the exact opposite of the globe. You just invert everything and it totally works. But I'm not totally sold on that, because then that means like, oh, China's up there. You know what I mean? So what they say is that there's a celestial sphere in the sky, and that it's basically we're in a cell, and that the water's pressed up against the walls. And so instead of gravity, they say it's compression. And so my argument to concavers is, how come the sun doesn't come down at night and go up in the morning? And they say it does, but it just seems reversed to you because of the atmosphere. So they always have an excuse. And so I think it would be fun to even be able to bring on multiple guests and discuss these things. So that's one thing I haven't done on this channel. And I only have myself to blame for not learning this software earlier, but you can't go back and change the past. The important thing is we have the software now, we have the ability now, and so I can start talking about the subject again with multiple guests, and I can be in control real easily, boot anyone who pisses me off, like Shay, for instance. If she started, I just like, get out of here. No, if we were to have on somebody, let's say, who's questionable, that we don't know if they're going to turn on us in the middle of the stream, let's say somebody who might be a shill, I have the ability to be like, boom, and kick them off the stream, ban them from coming back. So, all right, let's get into the next ISS
let's
video.
watch the next one.
All right, so we gave Shay her shout out, and now we're going to go to the new crew, at least two members of the new crew. So let me share that, share screen.
You're doing so good.
Thank you. I'm having fun
you,
too.
Jake.
Awesome. All right. And
okay, this one's interesting. And
just for those of you wondering where the video's at, it's on NASA Video. It's like NASA's secondary channel. It doesn't get that many views, but they show a ton of up-to-date ISS footage. And so this is like the most up-to-date ISS footage that we're watching. And in my opinion, it's worse than their stuff that they've done in the past. So they're actually getting worse, in my opinion. And away we go.
Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is Station. We are ready for the event.
There they are.
Station, this is Bill Harwood, CBS
News
Center. How do you hear me?
Hello, we have you loud and clear.
All right, thanks so much for taking time to talk with us today. I know you guys have hit the deck running and you got a busy schedule, and we certainly do appreciate it. I wanted to start out by asking both of you about your impressions of launch aboard a Crew Dragon Falcon 9. Jessica, you've never ridden a rocket before, of course. What was it like? What was the sound like, the vibration, the acceleration, the experience?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'll bet they've never ridden a rocket before. Neither one of these two ladies look like they've ridden many rockets.
Might have a rocket.
They might be riding, something plastic or something that has battery power that vibrates. But they don't look like they've been riding many actual rockets, in my opinion. And don't you like the fact that they have to have the globe right between them? Like they just have to shove the little globe balloon back there, like right between them. See right in the middle?
Yep, I see it.
So they got to have the globe symbolism in there. And what's funny is coming up, you're gonna see that like basically this entire interview gets based around the fact that there's a black lady on the ISS. That becomes like the whole basis of this interview.
She's so privileged.
Just diversity in space. We have to have diversity in outer space. You can't have a bunch of old white guys having all the fun, doing all the.
We don't want to confuse the aliens.
No, it doesn't matter if the old white guys are more trained and more experienced and will be better. No, you have to make it diverse and include a black lady, even if she's not as well trained as a white guy, because it would totally be racist to have a white guy who's better at doing the scientific jobs that you would theoretically do, right? So, of course, to make sure everything's diverse and politically correct, because political correctness in space is a must, right?
Yeah.
If something goes wrong, you want to have a black lady who's not as well trained as a possible old white guy who's done this for 20 years, right? So instead, they get rid of the old crew who's experienced, and they bring on these newbies who could screw anything up at any time. Of course, that makes total sense. All right, here we go.
It's tough to describe. It is certainly a sensory experience. All of the feelings, the physical feelings that you're feeling, the sounds that you're hearing, as you mentioned. We do a lot of training out at SpaceX in Hawthorne for what we are going to experience on Dragon, but getting all of that kind of coming together all at once, and also kind of experiencing the emotional side as well. Realizing that we are really actually embarking on this journey and headed up to the International Space Station. So all that coming together was pretty amazing.
I occasionally amuse myself by thinking about how Ben Franklin or Leonardo da Vinci would react to riding in a car or flying in an airplane. But flying in a rocket really takes it to a different level. Were you even a little bit nervous about it? I mean, was there a moment when you might have thought to yourself, what am I doing here?
Just wow. Look at that hair.
Yeah, there certainly is an understanding of what we're undertaking here, and certainly spaceflight is hard. We all are aware of that. But we just have such amazing teams working on the ground, both the SpaceX team, the NASA team.
So what I notice is these two look like they're literally placed on like that is as green screen gets. They don't, neither of them are casting a shadow. See what I mean? So there's literally no shadow behind either of them. And there should, on that back door back there, be some sort of movement of a shadow. And so to me, these two look as absolute green screeny as you can get. And then, of course, the same deal as the last shot, perfectly still. They're
and it
staying
looks like the one chick is wearing
in the same height, so they don't accidentally start like whoa, right? No, they're never like whoa.
Why aren't they doing that?
And so I think it's hilarious that just something simple like they stay at the perfect height together, where both their faces are matched at the exact same height, and they stay perfectly still. It's like, to me, it doesn't seem much different than standing like on the ground. And then like I told you guys earlier, I noticed that there's something up with their hands. I want you guys to pay close attention. Watch the hands. Sometimes it's like they're holding the mic like this. They're like, hi.
Yeah.
This is how I hold the mic. And it's almost like they're like this. Like they have these CGI overlays over their hands. And then they'll twirl it. Like, to me, it would make more sense if they just had these little tiny ones that were like attached to their shirt, and then they didn't have to pass around the microphone. But that would ruin the illusion for us children, right? You got to have the illusion for us children where they're twirling the mic and shit. Put this over here, right? So they could have, if they really wanted to, they wouldn't have to pass around a stupid microphone. They could all just have a little clip-on one, right? All right, let's continue. Oh, looks like I missed a super chat from Javid. Ben Cosme says, notice the shirts don't float off them. Yeah, they wear nice and tight shirts so that the shirts don't go floating away. They make sure to have their belts nice and tight so their pants don't go floating off either. All right, and then you have extra tight
Is
space.
she wearing 2 watches? Isn't that a Masonic thing?
I didn't even notice that. Totally didn't even notice
that. Looks like
that.
2 watches on the same wrist.
And she's got like her Apple Watch and then like her like what time is it in the International Space Station?
I don't know. I need 2 watches.
How does time even exist in this space station, right? It's like you wake up in the morning, but there's no such thing as morning. This is weird. All right, we'll continue.
team, making sure that we are safe and that our mission is going to be successful. So we can certainly rest assured knowing that we have such a great team of folks looking out for us.
I totally get that, but you didn't answer the question. Did you get even a little bit nervous? Because I think most people would.
Yeah, again, I think there's certainly an understanding of the reality of the situation and the risks that are involved, but we
dude, a little bit nervous, and she's like, yeah, it's like, you should be like, oh, I was scared shitless. This is my first time. I was a little afraid I might die at any moment. You know what I mean? It's like, I'd be like, I almost shit my pants. It was so scary. Oh my God. When I looked out the window and then I saw the Earth was getting so far away and I might die and never see any of my family ever again. I might die inside this tin can if anything goes wrong.
They're not very good actors.
I diarrheaed in my pants just a little. I'm not, to me, that would be more realistic. You should have totally ran with it. Yes. But instead she's downplaying it. Nah.
Yeah, it wasn't that
Nothing ever goes wrong in space.
No big deal.
That's because nothing has gone wrong for them, like emergency-wise. And so I think that they're not going to retire it the way they say they are. I think one day we're going to see the space station come down in some sort of dramatic event, like when the space shuttle, the Challenger, blew up. Remember Challenger blowing up? That's definitely a hoax that NASA pulled. So I could definitely see, instead, because NASA says they're going to bring down the space station in like 10, 15 years. I forget the exact date, but they're going to purposely crash it into the ocean. So what they're saying is they're going to purposely crash it in the future. So I could see them in the next 3-5 years, maybe sooner, have some sort of emergency event where they have to bring back all the crew members and then they have to, let's say, get rid of it. And then all of a sudden they'll have some new SpaceX private one just suddenly built for us. Like that's how they do it. They'll just show up with a new one. Like the Chinese had a space station that just showed up. They didn't show night by night this Chinese building a space station. Just one day the Chinese had their own space station. So what we're looking at in the future is we're going to have a SpaceX space station, Richard Branson space station, Galactic, whatever, the Jeff Bezos Amazon space station. So we're going to have a bunch of private space stations, and they'll just be basically trying to make it look more real by having more companies besides just NASA. And so it takes a lot of pressure off NASA as the government tricking us when they have, let's say, Bezos and Elon Musk also with their own space stations. So in the future, we're most likely going to have 5-10 space stations up there.
Hey, Soul sent you a super chat and he wants to get some RFB narration of the video.
He did?
Yeah. And then you missed another one from Javid.
Oh, okay. I was talking. Okay. Javid says, Jake, zoom in on the emblem on the t-shirts. I don't have the ability to do that, sadly.
We did look at it and it looks like what?
It's a dragonfly.
Yeah, it's a dragonfly.
You can look up that emblem, the cruise emblem online. It's a dragonfly. And we talked about that beforehand. So I want to thank Javid for the donation. I would zoom in on it if I could, but we don't have that option available. Sadly.
Can you do the RFB?
Yes. Saul says, can we please get RFB narration from the video? All right. Here we go. Hold on. Hey. Hey, you. Hey, YouTube. What's going on? Richie from Boston here. There's going to be an invasion of GMO mosquitoes coming your way. All right. For those who aren't prepared, you're going to need to get right with God. If you're not right with God, the GMO mosquitoes are going to key in on you. All right. These GMO mosquitoes, they are fit with this nanobot technology that they're going to know who's right with God and who's not right with God. And I've been working on my truck all day long. All right, I've almost got it fixed, and I plan on going north so that I can escape these GMO mosquitoes. All right, I caught one of the little guys, and I actually tested him, and he tested positive for GMO mosquitoes. Now you can like, share, subscribe, or don't. This is Richie from Boston. I'm out. Little Richie scratches my voice. Except like doing Richie from Boston is something I can only do for like a minute or two max because it starts to like scratch my throat. Even worse is is Macho Man Randy Savage. If I do Macho Man, I can do like 20-30 seconds max, and then I just start causing like esophagus damage. Let me tell you something. If you want to mess with the GMO mosquitoes or the Macho Man, so make sure to like, share, subscribe, or don't. At any rate, I need to fix my truck. I'm out. There's little Richie for us. Not little Richie, but Richie from Boston. All right, let's get back to this space station stuff. Thank you, Saul, for the donation. I appreciate that.
We are in a place of privilege where we are able to talk about
Hate
those.
that.
Oh, what did she just say? Let me back that up.
You said she's black privileged.
She said she's in a place of
She's privileged.
To talk about those risks, understand how they're mitigated, and that really helps assuage our fears that are involved. But we are in a place of privilege where we are able to talk about those risks, understand how they're mitigated.
That's about the only time you're going to hear a black woman say she's in a place of privilege. I don't think I've ever heard any black person ever say that they were in a place of privilege. And then again, look how she's holding that microphone. Is that how you grip anything? You know what I mean? You would hold the microphone like you would hold the dick. You're right. Like come on, like that right there, like that. This looks like they're doing this CGI overlay deal. It's like, well, we're fortunate to be in a place of privilege. I'm a black lady on the ISS, so obviously I'm pretty privileged. Oh man, these two goobers.
And that really helps assuage our fears.
And maybe if I can add to that, I mean, I certainly, as Wadi.
Oh, no, go ahead, Samantha.
I just wanted to say that I think for us, and especially for Wadi and on our first flight, but even for me on my second one, the feeling of joy for having gotten to that point after such a long time of training and the anticipation for all this amazing adventure that awaits you on space station, I think that just, takes over emotionally, so that, yes, maybe you're a little bit nervous, but you don't focus on that all that much.
Well, she went to go grab her wrist, but then she decided not to.
Microphone. I wanted to ask your impressions of Crew Dragon. Were there any surprises about that experience, and maybe how it compared to riding on a Soyuz?
Yeah, so the process of launching to space, so the rocket launch itself, the sensations that you feel in the rocket, the duration of the ascent up to orbital insertion, the G's, the staging, when one stage of the rocket stops working and all of a sudden you lose the thrust for a few seconds, and then the next stage kicks in, which is quite dynamic, and then that transition from feeling squeezed in your seat, that very sudden transition to being all of a sudden weightless. All of that is quite similar, and I was incredibly happy to have a chance to experience all of that again.
Okay, just for anyone wondering, the black girl is mission specialist Jessica Watkins, 33 years old. What are the odds? And then the one speaking right now is an Italian, and she is from the European Space Agency, 45 years old, Samantha Cristoforetti. So Samantha is the Italian, and then the black girl is Jessica.
So my biggest question for them would be, like, what do they do when they start their period?
Oh,
Like,
you
imagine.
just let it go. You just let it go flying everywhere.
Blood in space.
They have a special period vacuum, of
Just
course.
not good for a woman to be an astronaut. Like, if you have on a spacesuit and your cycle is coming, what do you do?
What I think
questions.
Is funny is in this video, the black girl almost looks like she has a wet spot down there.
It does. What are those Velcro patches on their pants?
It almost looks like the black girl peed her pants, right?
It does.
Now I swear they do stuff like that on purpose.
Just so we'll look.
The first time. And then certainly the spacecraft
Men don't get periods.
a little bit different, so certainly a little bit more comfortable in terms of seating position.
You know, we enjoyed that photo you tweeted showing the birthday cake and the shot of Mr. Spock in there.
Gotta twirl that mic.
That you may or may not have a replica costume from another science fiction show with you. Any hints when we might find out what that might be?
Yeah, they don't really shape
like she just has to twirl the mic, right? Like she is like that's part of the deal. You can't just like talk into the mic and do the interview. You just have to be amused with yourself twirling the mic, right? I guess we could say, well, she's a new crew member. Like, no, even if they've been on there for a year, they still do shit like that all the time. They act like they're so amused because they're twirling an object. It's like if you've been up there by now, and we all believe in the space station, and that's, you know, we don't need you to even twirl the mic, right? It's like just answer the questions. You know what I mean? Like there's something about the fact that they always have to twirl something and play with something. All right, here we go.
Previous job as a combat pilot in the Italian Air Force.
Okay, that sounds great. So either Battlestar Galactica or Star Wars, right? No, I'm kidding. We'll have to wait and see. Let me ask Jessica a question. You know, we talked a lot before launch about your geology training and a chance to look at the Earth from space. You know, geologists normally look at rocks with a hand lens or a thin section, up close and personal. What's it like looking at that from 260 miles up? And is Chell pestering you to explain things like you said he would?
These comments.
Yes, so the view is even better than I could have imagined or could have expected. It is amazing to see, as you're kind of discussing, the scale of the Earth itself, of the whole sphere, and then also of the features on the Earth. For me, I actually spent a lot of my time doing geology, also doing remote sensing. And so that process involves looking at photographs as well as data of surfaces of planets from a distance removed away from the surface. So it actually is quite an interesting parallel for me to be able to now look at those features from the vantage point of the ISS. So it is really neat for me. And
all right, we got some funny comments coming in from the chat that I want to go ahead and read. Oh my God, everyone's making funny comments in the chat. Let me go ahead and read some comments. Steve DeCipio says the mic doubles as a vibrator. Hey, Saul Rosenberg says serious question. In space, does it evaporate slower when you pee your pants? Asking for a friend. Oh man. Let's see.
Where is the mic been? Yeah, we don't hear muffling when they're flipping the microphone around.
Michael Bosta says she even tried to fix the pants, duping delight on her pants, the black person. Oh, do you guys, they smile like goobers the whole time. And at the end, I don't want to spoil it, but they do their flips. And then the black girl has a little screw up. And we're going to actually put it in slow motion. I'm going to replay it a few times for you guys.
They should have to master doing those flips in a harness.
I swear they show us they show us the screw ups on purpose. There's something about them showing us what they're doing and like on purpose. Does that make sense? I think it's like a rule. Have you ever heard like it's a rule that they have to show us exactly how they're duping us? And if you're too stupid to notice and you go along with it, then you deserve to be duped, sort of deal. So it's almost like at the end when they do their flips, the lady on the right does a decent one. And the black lady screws hers up, and then her shirt comes popping up for a second.
Gosh,
and then she has this stupid look on her face like she just screwed up. And so here in a minute, when we get to that part, I'm going to put it in slow-mo and we'll replay it a bunch of times. But yeah, the back flips are coming, so don't you guys worry. We're going to get to that in just a few minutes.
Yes, my crewmates have
black woman either.
Being able to discuss a little bit of geology already, so it's been super fun for me.
Well, you sound totally at ease up there when I hear you talking on air to ground. Has the transition to life and weightlessness been easy, difficult, something in between? What's been the biggest challenge for you getting used to living on station?
Yeah, I think the probably the biggest thing to learn how to do since we've been up here, as well as probably the most fun thing for me, has been getting used to the 3D nature of the ISS. Getting to literally climb on the walls like Spider-Man and learn how to use my feet instead of my hands to translate around has just been so fun. And just being able to see, how my brain reorients and really is able to take in spatial information in 3D, and that transition over time has been really cool to watch.
Guys, I got about 2 minutes left. I want to shift gears, and Samantha, let me ask you this one. ESA is in the process of recruiting new astronauts, and I was wanting to get your sense of what the prospects are for increasing the number of female candidates, and how important is that for ESA and for Europe?
Oh, I think the prospects are great. We had over, I believe, 25% of the applications were from female candidates this time around, which is a significant increase compared to the previous selection process, which is the one in which I was selected. So I am quite sure that by the end of this year, I will have some new colleagues, and among them also some new female colleagues. And I think that's important because it just looks, if you look at the European Astronaut Corps right now, there's only one woman, which is myself, and that kind of looks, it does really not reflect society that much. So I'm looking forward to have some more female colleagues.
Thanks. And Jessica, I'll close out with a similar question to you. You're the first African-American woman to make a long-duration flight on the station. How important is it for NASA to recruit more women? And more women of color. I mean,
here we go.
As a role model, but can you talk about that just a little bit, and that'll close it out for me, guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your time. I certainly think that it is important going into the exciting future ahead of us at NASA. We have a diverse core and continue to focus on the diversity, the impacts of diversity on the greater team here at NASA. So as we look forward to the Artemis missions coming up here in the near future and look towards the moon and eventually to Mars, we're going to need people with diverse skill sets, diverse backgrounds, diverse experiences. And so I think it's important for us to prioritize and focus on that moving forward.
Okay. Did you hear how many times she said the word diverse?
Way too many.
Okay, hold on. We have to do a quick count. I swear that was like 7 diverses that she spat out in under 30 seconds. Let's have that. Let me count those. We'll do a diverse counter.
Team here at NASA. So as we look on the exciting.
And that'll close it out for me, guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your time. I certainly think that it is important going into the exciting future ahead of us at NASA that we have a diverse core and continue to focus on the diversity.
2.
The impacts of diversity.
3.
on the greater team here at NASA. So as we look forward to the Artemis missions coming up here in the near future and look towards the moon and eventually to Mars, we're going to need people with diverse skill sets.
No, I think that's
5. Oh, did I recount 4 again? Yeah. Okay, so 5, 6 then. Shit. I lost count. Okay. One more time.
Going into the exciting future.
Close it out for me, guys.
Okay, one more time. I want to get these right.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your time. I certainly think that it is important going into the exciting future ahead of us at NASA that we have a diverse core
1
and continue to focus on the diversity,
2,
the impacts of diversity
3
on the greater team here at NASA. So as we look forward to the Artemis missions coming up here in the near future and look towards the moon and eventually to Mars, we're going to need people with diverse skill
4
sets, diverse
5
backgrounds, diverse
6
experiences. And so I certainly think it's important for us to prioritize and focus on that moving forward.
Okay, so she said diversity like so many times in the same sentence right there. And so again, what I want to bring up is like, okay, diversity in outer space. What are you saying that like it doesn't matter how much experience you have, how useful you would be in an emergency? Let's say you've been working in the space station, like Scott Kelly, for instance, would have more experience than both these two combined. You know what I mean? Wouldn't it behoove you to keep someone like him around? And so, you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense to put a complete newbie up there to have to learn what to do in all these situations. And then on top of that, not even the best candidate. So, hey, let's get a newbie. And since this lady's black and diversity is important, it doesn't matter who's the best. It doesn't matter who's the most qualified candidate. What's that?
Do we know how old this guy is? I mean, lady.
She's the black lady's 33, and the other one's 45.
Oh, nice.
Samantha's 45, Jessica 33.
That black lady does not look like a lady at all.
Everyone in chat has pointed that out.
Not at all.
And I know there are women out there who kind of look like dudes who actually are women. So we can't say for sure what it is, but we also have to think of the possibility that it might not even be an actual person. They might be collaging facial features together on a potato head face and making a fake person. For all we know, that is not even a real person. And if you look at the quality on their videos, it's like their faces are always somewhat glitching. And it's like they're purposely using like 540p or something. They don't even use anything like 1080 or 4K. And so they claim they can't have crystal clear quality because they're out in space. So they purposely have shitty quality on their streams. So even if you watch it in the best quality available, it's still their eyes and face are CGI-ish. I know that's not a word, but I'm making it a word. It's their face has CGI-ish qualities to it. So here we have this diversity in space. So out in space, if space was real, I would actually be mad as a white man that like a black lady gets to have a job over a guy who's more experienced just because she's black. The only reason that doesn't bother me is because they're on a fake station and they're not really in space and it's not a real job. So I don't mind the fact that they're doing this whole diversity crap. But let's say like I'm a white guy who's trying out to be on the space station and it was a real deal. It would piss me off if I didn't get the job because of the need for diversity, you know? I feel like in space, if there was an emergency, I would be more useful as an expert rather than that black lady.
Yeah, do we know her background? Like what qualifies her to be in space besides being a 33-year-old black woman that looks like a man? Does she have any?
That's it. That's like her entire
her
entire qualification. Okay, let's go ahead.
You go, girl.
Let's finish this up. We have the flips coming soon.
Okay.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the CBS News portion of the event. Please stand by for a voice check from CNN.
Now they're switching news companies.
CNN. How do you hear me?
Here, we'll go to the end where they do the flip.
Partnership to make sure that everything is running smoothly.
No, I think we certainly understand the magnitude of kind of, as Samantha was mentioning, the magnitude of what we're doing up here, the importance of the work that we are doing. But I think ultimately we are a family up here. We have dinner with our cosmonaut colleagues, and we understand this shared mission, the shared goal, and we'll all work together to do our best to accomplish that and do so successfully, safely, and efficiently.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Station,
here they go.
ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
Thank you to all the participants from CBS News and CNN Station. We are now resuming operational audio communication.
All right. So it happens quick, but we're going to slow it down and we're going to watch it a few times. We're going to put it on half speed. Here we go.
That concludes the event. Thank you.
Now watch the black lady. Focus on the black lady. Watch, 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 watch.
Participants from CBS News and CNN Station. We are now resuming audio communication.
All right.
She somehow is using her foot to do something.
Yeah, and then if you'll notice, her shirt kind of came up, and then it looks like she's hanging in a harness for like I'll even slow it down even more.
Right there, she's struggling.
Right there. Look what she does. That little running thing. Now it looks like she's definitely hanging, and then she reaches up. Now watch her shirt come up here for a second. Her shirt comes up for a second. It's kind of funny. All right. One more time.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes.
There we go. Mute them. All right, one more time, y'all. We're in space. See? Now watch the black girl do this little like running jumpy thing, and her shirt pops up for a second. Whoop, whoop. Now watch her shirt.
Oh, this is the part they were supposed to rehearse.
And then watch this other lady, Samantha. Look at the duper's delight. Look at the duper's delight on that.
Oh, she's so happy about herself.
Oh, man. Like she's
Fooling
never
the
done a
masses.
backflip like in a pool before, right?
Yeah.
It's just the most fun backflip she just ever did. Look at this face. This is some like Robbie level acting right here. Look at that face. There you have it, y'all. There you have it. They did some backflips. They have to be in space because they did backflips. Gotta love it. All right,
I
chat.
agree, Wally. Just imagine how evil you have to be to fake that.
Now, see, here's my thing. I was telling Shay earlier that, like, I've seen International Space Station footage from years ago, a couple years ago, that looks better than this. So they're not even progressively getting better. It seems like they're progressively getting worse. I mean, don't you agree that you've seen more convincing footage than this? That this was some of the lesser convincing. I mean, it's not the biggest glitches and screw ups I've ever seen, but it's
I feel like
definitely
your
not that
music video where you're floating is way more convincing.
good. And here's another thing is Hollywood movies look so much better. Like Gravity was made years ago with Sandra Bullock and George Looney Tunes, and that's a way better looking film than the footage we see here. And so I find it very peculiar that movies look more real than the real thing. Furthermore, Tom Cruise is supposedly supposed to get on this International Space Station, meet the crew, and then have his own private studio where he's supposed to film for a space movie that he's doing. So my question is Tom Cruise actually going to meet these crew members or the next crew and participate in events like this? Is he going to look as fake as they do? Or are they only going to show Tom Cruise as far as Hollywood movie production goes? And is the Hollywood movie going to look 10 times better than this? And if so, that doesn't make sense. How can Hollywood look better than the real thing if this is the real thing? Do you see what
Look
the
at
issue?
this old book that I found. From actors to astronauts.
Whoa, that's cool.
They're basically all actors.
Well, see, you've heard that Tom Cruise is supposed to go up there and film a movie, right?
Yeah.
And so my question is, like, to make it look real, we don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to like sequester him and keep him separated, or if they're going to have him like on screen with these goobers doing backflips and shit. Like, imagine if they put Tom Cruise on screen with these goobers and he's like, I'm here, and then they hug, and then he stands there doing this. If they go that extra mile and they put Tom Cruise with these goobers, that's going to be ridiculous. And so I'm wondering if they're just going to totally sequester him and not have him intermingle with this crew. And so they might even ask the crew, like, hey, where's Tom Cruise? And then they'll be like, oh yeah, he's in the back. He's got his own private studio in the back. So it'll be telling whether or not they actually have Tom Cruise participate with the crew, and whether or not they actually have that footage look anything like this. Because as it stands, Hollywood movies look way more legitimate than this shit that we're shown. And this is the most recent footage. So, what do you guys think, chat? Is this some of the best space station footage you've ever seen, or does it look like NASA is getting faker?
I'm almost convinced that we're on a globe after watching this.
That did. You're like, shit.
It was the flip that did it for me.
You were wrong the whole time. Once that black lady did a flip, I realized I was wrong about gravity.
Especially the way she pushed herself off the air. It was super convincing.
All right. So for those of you who enjoyed this stream and you want to check out Shay's channel, she also has a channel here on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and post the link to her channel in the chat again. Give you another plug. She's close to getting 1,000 subs. So once she gets there, then she can run her own streams.
Are you going to go live on my channel with me?
Yeah. Because, you know, you're not good. If you have your own subjects and your own things to talk about, you can use the same software and run streams. And
I want to try it.
Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to using this stuff a lot more often, because rather than me having to make a video and spend a ton of time, I can debunk something like we did here. And then once we're done, boom, it's posted. I don't have to even go back and do a bunch of editing or none of that mess. So I actually really
I'm looking forward to talking about the map. Do you guys want to talk about the flat Earth map?
Shay is totally crazy about the map.
I'm obsessed with the map.
She wants to get into the map and do some shill busting. So I told her that we're gonna need like a week to get all our materials together and get it all set up. So I told her, let's get this first stream under our belt and do the ISS footage.
This is practice.
And in the next stream, we'll make it even longer, and we'll have even more videos to watch and a bunch of different stuff. So she's got some debunks of the AE map. I've got my own debunks of the AE map. And whenever we start debunking the AE map, shills tend to show up. So that's
okay. Fun. I'm used to it. We've got this. I'm excited.
All right, so now that we saw the ISS footage, we're going to take a look at my music video footage, and we're going to see which one is more realistic.
Yours
now, a lot of you guys have probably seen my music video before, but for those of you who haven't, we'll go ahead and just show that real quick, and maybe some of you guys haven't seen it in a while. Let me share that screen real quick. We don't have time. Oops, this is a different video.
Yeah, this isn't the one where you're floating. But that's still more convincing.
No, that is the wrong video. My bad. I meant to show no satellites in space. That's not the video I meant to show. One sec. Let me just go pull it up real fast. Oops, my bad. No satellites in space has me floating through space and stuff. There we go. Showed the wrong music video. Let me get through this commercial. Sorry, guys. I totally whiffed on that one.
You've been doing so great, though, for your first
Oh,
time.
it's fine. That's a small mistake. No, I meant to show no satellites in space, and I accidentally grabbed a video that I made before that one. Here we go. Okay, and let me share this screen, and we'll have it fixed. There we go. Boom. And away we go.
I'm too slick. Can't fool me, 'cause my mind's too quick. Bitch, so suck up my dick. 'Cause I'm not falling for no trying to lose. Because I am not paid well. Time to pay you. I'm no satellites in space. That's a level to I'm no astronauts in space. I'm no satellites in space. That's a level to space.
Hey, there you have it.
Tonight, graciously, everyone feels welcome. Tomorrow, the welcomes keep on coming.
That was good, Jake. You're very convincing. You are much better than those women boys.
Thank you. That is a hell of a compliment. All right, so I think we pretty much made it through this stream, and we didn't have anything go majorly wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase this StreamYard software so that they can get all the perks from buying it, and so that went well. And I'm definitely going to have you back on for a Flat Earth special, and I'm sure we'll have a good-sized crowd for that. So did you guys enjoy the stream today in the chat? Let us know if you guys had a good time here today. And I just checked your channel. You've already got like 40 new subs in like the last
thank you, guys.
few minutes. And I'm sure there'll be some trickling in. I'll even leave a link to your channel in the description and then in a pinned comment. So my guess is you'll be up over 1,000 subs pretty soon. And then you'll have a crowd.
Thank you to everyone that followed my channel.
Yeah, then when you stream, you'll have a crowd and all that good stuff. So,
and if they're your crowd, then they're definitely my crowd because we think so much alike.
I have a really cool group of people here who are smart and they see through the bullshit, and they enjoy when people see through the bullshit and point it out. And so I have some really good people here, and I really wanted to improve the quality of my stream. And the two things that were bothering me was the connection issues. So I got a Wi-Fi booster, and then my ability to not show any diagrams or videos or have guests. That was definitely a big deal. So now that I have those issues solved, the future's looking extra bright.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for letting me do this with you.
Yeah, also you guys in chat, that opens the door for you guys. I can have like up to like 10 guests, I think, which is going to be crazy. So it won't just be Shay. I'll be able to invite different people on. So the possibilities are basically endless of what we can do now and talk about in the future. So yeah, I look forward to next week doing a stream with you. And like we did today, I'll put out a promo video, and I'll let you guys know at least a day or two in advance so that nobody misses the stream. That's another thing I want to do is schedule streams. I used to just go live. I just randomly would just start live and people would just find me like randomly. So now if we schedule our streams and we have a set time, then that gives a lot more people a chance to know that the stream's going to happen, which of course will increase our crowds, more people watching, more people will be able to watch the stream live. So all that good stuff and a lot more.
Yes.
All right. So I guess that's it for tonight. And I want to thank everyone for being here. And all my mods for showing up, and anyone who donated, and anyone who said anything that I didn't read. I always go back and watch the chat replay, so eventually I will read every single person's chat, even if I missed it live. So this is Jake, Shay, and we're going to go ahead and sign off here, and you guys all have a wonderful night, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye. Bye, Jake.
Bye, everyone.